I used several different media technologies when I was making my product, all my products, the ancillary tasks, and the main film. For the ancillary tasks, I used Photoshop, and this was a fair struggle for me because I have never properly used Photoshop before, so I didn't really know what I was doing. I've used it briefly before, but nothing serious, only just messing around with like the expand and the swirling tools, just because the liquify tools, because they look funny. And so to do an actual professional looking product was quite difficult. So I went with the excuse that it was a simple film, so I had simple ancillary tasks to keep with the theme of it being simple and nothing too complicated. So I had to learn how to use Photoshop, and that's how I made my poster and my film review. When it came to making the film, I used a program called Premiere Pro, which is editing software. Just put all the clips in and I edited them together, and we used that last year for AS in the courseworks and a couple of other things that we did, and so I know how to use that now, so that was fine. When it came to making the review, I looked at Empire magazine. I looked at lots of reviews for that, all the latest films that were coming out, like The Great Gatsby. I don't know how recent that is though. That's not too recent, but you know, both parts of The Hobbit, the Batman films, films that interested me as well, comedy films. I looked into lots of them, saw how it was written, the style, and looked at the layout. So there were the margins that had information on the sides, adverts, and there was the main block of text with a picture in it and different headings and all sorts. So I basically copy and pasted that and replaced it with my own work, which is kind of cheap, but because I didn't know what I was doing with Photoshop, I didn't really know what else to do, so that's my excuse for that. It's not a very good one, but that's how I worked it. When it came to the poster, I looked at several different posters. I looked at the Avatar one, which is the main one I based it off, because it looks very dramatic. You're staring into this character's eyes, all you can see is the character's face. And I wanted to do something like that that's overly dramatic for a simple carrot film. So I had character's face, the carrot in the eyes, all sorts. And that was hard to do on Photoshop because I have no idea what I was doing, so I had a lot of help from my teacher and a couple of friends who actually know what they're doing with Photoshop, which helped a lot, which is why it looks better than it would have, because if I'd been left down to it, it would have looked awful, so I'm very glad that they could help. For my film, I looked on Vimeo.com, which you just get to look at short films people have made for free. You can search particular films. I looked at comedy ones, stuff like Mega Bear, Coin, Black Hole. Well, that's not a comedy one, but you know. And I based it off several ideas I got off those, such as the twist at the end, such as the black hole. He gets stuck into the safe, he's trapped because of his own greed. So I thought that's kind of a good twist. I talked to my friends for a twist about carrots because I was at a lack for ideas, despite how simple the carrot idea was. I couldn't think of any way to expand it. Then I got the idea from my main actor, James. He said, "Why don't you have my girlfriend turn into a carrot when I kiss her?" I thought that was rubbish at first, because he used to put her in the film, but the more I thought about it, the better it became, and that paid off because that was the funniest part of my film, according to the audience. When it came to looking into the audience that I was going to target at, I had to go on Pearl and Dean. I had to look at their statistics pages, see the latest comedy films, see which classes, genders and ages went to go see them, and for the most part it was a mix of male and female, predominantly male, but only by a small margin, so 60-40, if that. They were all about my age, so 16 to about 22, I think, was the main group, and then that was fairly easy to base it off because I know from talking to my sister and her friends in uni that people around the higher end of that spectrum aren't too different to people of my age, so I could base it basically on my own age group, which I know how to do because I'm a member of my own age group, so I know what kind of things I wanted in a film. I also that's that.